Bedtime in the evening for your little one can often be a really tricky and frustrating experience, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe your baby just fights going to bed in the evening. Maybe your baby wakes as soon as you put them down. Maybe it takes you hours and hours of settling to get your baby to sleep. Or maybe your baby, like the baby in today's sleep question, treats bedtime as just another nap. Today I am answering your sleep question. Why does my 6-month-old take a nap from 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. and then is awake until 2 a.m.? How do I get the 7 p.m. nap to become bedtime? In this video, I am going to be answering that question and talking you through how you can get your baby to bed for the night at 7 p.m. or thereabouts, and hopefully they will treat that as bedtime and sleep for a nice long chunk. Tell me in the comments below how your little ones are going at bedtime. Are you having any bedtime battles, or is everything smooth sailing? Hi, I'm Nikki, one of the founders of Little Ones. I am an infant and toddler sleep expert, and we founded Little Ones because we wanted to help families just like you improve their little ones' sleep. We believe that everyone deserves sleep, and we know that good sleep for your baby or toddler doesn't have to be complicated, even though it might seem that way. We developed comprehensive online sleep programs from newborn right through to 3 years old, based on science, based on the most up-to-date information and methods, and on our own experience as mothers. Check out our website www.little1s.co to see our programs or to access a vault of really awesome sleep advice. So bedtime. Bedtime for babies and children biologically falls within a specific window, and that is generally around dusk. So if you think about when dusk falls on average, it's somewhere between sort of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. And the reason that this is bedtime is because at this young age, babies and children need a lot of restorative nighttime sleep. They are growing rapidly and learning and developing and changing, and they need that sleep. The chunk of sleep prior to midnight, so from bedtime to midnight, is the most restful sleep for your little one. This is when they are in their really deep nighttime sleep cycles and they are being pumped full of the good sleep hormone melatonin. This is the most restful, restorative part of their sleep. After midnight, the melatonin starts dropping out of their body in preparation for waking in the morning, and they go through phases of lighter sleep, ending in a very light sleep stage between about 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., which is why early wakes can be quite common. It's when they're in their lightest sleep stage. So prior to midnight, we want to be getting in as much good sleep as we can, because that is the crucial sleep period for our little ones. So if your baby at 6 months old is having what you call a nap from 7 till 8 p.m. and then is awake until 2 a.m., you can see that they are missing out on that nice long chunk of consolidated pre-midnight sleep. That's 6 hours of being awake from 8 p.m. till 2 a.m., which is actually far too much awake time for a baby of this age at any time of the day, let alone at night, when no doubt you are exhausted and are wanting to be in bed as well. This kind of sleep pattern is definitely not sustainable for your little one or for yourself. So let's look at why this might be happening. Bedtime at night hinges almost solely on one factor, and that is what has happened in your baby's day. So whatever naps and awake patterns are happening in your baby's day is directly going to influence the success of bedtime, and then also how your little one is sleeping from bedtime until midnight, and then also the rest of the night. So by 6 months, what we would be wanting to see for an ideal daytime routine is awake windows in the earlier part of the day of around 2.5 hours. That's between naps, and then a longer awake window in the afternoon and early evening of around 4 hours. What that would look like nap-wise is assuming a wake of say 7 a.m, which is a good time to start your little one's day, and a consistent wake-up time, even if you have to enforce it by waking your little one, actually helps lock in their circadian rhythm, and it will really help get a consistent bedtime in the evening with a consistent wake-up time in the morning. Crazy, but it works. So we would then be looking at a shortish morning nap at around 9:30. Now this might only need to be for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, just a short morning nap, because that nap is going to be vanishing slowly over the next sort of 8-ish months. We aim for a shorter nap in the morning, and then an awake period of around 2.5 hours, then a nice long lunchtime sleep of at least 2 hours if you can. This sets your little one up to go into the afternoon really well rested. They've had sort of a cumulatively 2.5 to 3 hours of naps so far during the day. They're awake by say 2:30, 3 o'clock, and they can have a nice long awake time in the afternoon and early evening because they're better rested from decent naps during the day. Then we'd be aiming for a bedtime around 6:30 p.m, 7 o'clock at night, around 4 hours after they woke from that lunchtime nap. If at 6 months your little one is still having 3 daytime naps a day, that definitely can be causing issues at bedtime because your little one is not tired enough to settle easily or to jump into those deep nighttime sleep cycles. A nap of an hour at bedtime and then being awake for a really long period suggests to me that your little one is undertired. So I'm taking a guess that they're having too many naps, or their naps are too long during the day. They just need to be awake. They just need some awake time, which is not very convenient when they want to have that awake time at midnight. So what I would be looking to do is implementing this nap structure of a short morning nap, aim for a longer lunchtime sleep, and then keep your little one up for a nice long awake period in the afternoon and early evening. Give them some fresh air, give them a kick around, some sort of exercise, some stimulation, their dinner, their bedtime milk feed, and then they're going to bed really ready for nighttime. What is also going to help your little one understand that this is bedtime and it's the night, and it helps kick off all of those biological sleep responses, is having a nice bedtime routine. I love a good bedtime routine, but don't get me wrong, a bedtime routine on its own is not going to resolve a sleep issue like this. You need to be coupling it with a decent and age-appropriate daytime routine. By bedtime routine, you don't want to make it too long and exhausting, but I would be looking to bath your little one. And actually what a bath or a shower does in the evening is the hot and then coming out into the cold forces a temperature shift in our bodies. And that is one of the triggers that kicks off our nighttime sleep response. So that's a really easy way to help get your baby in the zone for sleep. A bath, I would be dimming the lights in the house so that the low light is replicating dusk outside. So rather than having bright lights and maybe the TV's going and everything's exciting and stimulating, start thinking about making it sleep inducing. So get the lights off. Melatonin, which I talked about earlier as the sleep hormone, is produced and released in response to the dark. If you can start bringing the dark into your bedtime routine, that is really going to help your little one understand that bedtime and therefore nighttime is approaching. Turn off the lights, turn off the TV, not too much stimulation. Make everything nice and warm and cozy and calm. Take your little one to their room, read them a story, sing them a lullaby, give them their milk feed, and then do your bedtime or settling with your little one in their room in that nice sleep environment. Another thing I would be suggesting in their sleep environment is make that very dark also. Turn off the night light. Make sure that the curtains are blackout if for whatever reason it's still bright outside at say 7 p.m. at your house. Your little one needs to understand that it is nighttime now. It's dark and it's cozy, turn on some white noise, and very quickly, these repeated steps in that process, so locking in a good daytime routine, having a very consistent, repeated bedtime routine, having these strong bedtime cues like the dark room and the white noise, your little one is going to come to quickly understand and accept night sleep as the next step in that process. If you've done all of this, if you've got these naps happening as I've described, the right amount of awake time during the day as I've described, a bedtime routine, a great sleep environment, you pop your little one in at 7, the first night or 2 or 3, they probably are going to still wake at 8. That is just because that's what their body clock is used to. Our body clocks are amazing things, and it's not called a clock by coincidence. It's called a clock because our bodies are capable of locking in really accurate times. We get hungry at the same times that we normally eat each day. Our little ones, once they're used to a particular schedule or routine, will actually start getting tired right on nap time or right on bedtime in the evening. It's amazing how it works. We can help get their body clock on side by taking advantage of consistent daytime routines and bedtime routines. So your little one might still do that 8 p.m. wake. The key here is for you to help them understand that it is the middle of the night, essentially. It's not party time, it's not playtime. If you need to respond to them and help them back to sleep, which is what I suggest you do in this instance, keep the room dark, keep the white noise on. Don't play with them or stimulate them in any way. They need to know that the expectation is that they will sleep here. Settle them back to sleep however you can. And it might take a little while at first while their body is getting used to this change. After a couple nights, and especially at this stage, it should only take a couple nights, your little one will surprise you. And if you've got that great daytime routine happening, then there is no physiological sleep reason that your little one isn't capable of sleeping for a good chunk of time from bedtime at this age. At 6 months, one night wake for a feed is pretty common at this age until your baby is well established on solids. But your little one is capable of sleeping from bedtime for a good 6, 7, maybe even 8 hours in a stretch. So that is something I would definitely be aiming to do. So just to quickly recap, you're having a really long awake period at night and your little one is treating bedtime as a nap because they're just not tired enough to go into those nighttime sleep cycles. What I would be doing is implementing really age-appropriate nap routines and awake windows during the day and creating a good bedtime routine and a sleep sanctuary in your little one's nursery. Stick with this. It's not going to happen overnight, but give it a couple days. In a week's time, I guarantee you'll be seeing really positive results. If you need a hand with bedtime at any age, and I know that there can be bedtime battles right from newborn to toddlers, and sometimes I still have them with my 4-year-old, we are here for you. Our sleep programs have got everything inside them that you need to set up those great daytime routines, create a great bedtime routine, and help your little one to master bedtime and get a good chunk of restorative sleep overnight. Check out our website to access our sleep programs. Don't forget to subscribe here to our YouTube channel so we can keep making lots of videos like this for you. I hope this has helped you understand what's going on for your little one in the evening, and I hope that you all start getting some smooth bedtimes and a nice relaxing period of time to yourself in the evening once your little one goes down for the night. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.